live on Omega Live TV. So please share, hit that like button and share today's program with everybody because it's going to be very interesting. We have another amazing woman in the studio. But before I introduce you to her, I would like to thank all my sponsors, as I normally do, who are Nweki Online, Bell Chic Fashions, Bless Nab Events, and also Azamai Beauty. So as I said today, we have an amazing lady in the studio. She is a vegan chef, Nigerian, UK-based vegan chef. She's the founder of the Igbo Women's Awards, and she's also a wellness coach, and she's also an award-winning mentor. She's a woman with many gifts and a lot of talents. So welcome to the studio, Nena.
Thank you.
It's so nice to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
It's so nice to have you here, finally.
I know.
I say that to all my guests because I pick everybody, you know,
ahead of time. Yeah.
Ahead of time, and you know, everyone's unique to me, inspires me myself, you know, in different ways. So as I said, you're a vegan chef.
Yes.
That's what you're currently indulged in at the moment. You're the founder of the Igbo Women Awards.
Yes,
and you're a proud Igbo woman.
Yes, I am.
Proud Igbo woman. I love Igbo people.
Yeah.
Favorite tribe in Nigeria.
And I'm not afraid
to say it. I'm not afraid to say it. My favorite Nigerian tribe, because I'm a Nollywood diehard fan. So yes, and then you're also a wellness coach.
Yes.
And you're also an award-winning mentor, which you don't normally talk about.
Yeah.
But I have to give you the praise today. And I'm going to make sure people know that you are an award-winning mentor, and we're going to talk about that a bit later on. But first of all, let's talk about veganism.
Yes.
Because that's your baby. Controversial subject as an African, because, you know, Africans, we love meat.
Yeah.
But yes, you're vegan, so...
Yes, I am.
And obviously you wasn't born a vegan.
No, I wasn't.
You wasn't a vegan as you were growing up.
No.
So how did you become a vegan and why?
The first time I actually heard about veganism was 20 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, one of my colleagues at work was transitioning from vegetarianism to veganism, and you know, he was telling me about all these things, and I'm like, you're weird. Get away from me.
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Wow.
And obviously I knew a little bit about it, you know, and but it wasn't something I thought was possible for me to do, because you know, in my mind I'm like, why would someone choose not to eat meat? You understand what I'm saying? Because I was raised eating meat. At the time I thought I enjoyed meat, and it did not make sense to me not to eat meat or fish or anything like that. But over the years I started having kind of like some reactions, like my skin, my digestive system, and it made me start looking more into like different types of food.
Yeah.
I had like an allergy test. Okay. Obviously, prior to that, I knew that I was lactose intolerant. Obviously, a lot of black people are lactose intolerant and probably don't know it. So,
what is lactose intolerant for those that
when
may not know?
You're allergic to lactose, obviously that can be found in milk, cheese, you know, and depending on how your body can tolerate it, can range from having like allergies on your skin. You could actually have like really bad digestive problems, bloatedness, you know, irritable bowel syndrome can all come from that. So in my quest to find out more about like all the different food types and stuff like that, I started like doing my research. I stumbled upon a couple of vegan and plant-based videos on YouTube, and I was like, wow, after watching them I was like, wow, like seriously, is that what meat does to you? Do you understand? Is this how these animals are actually being farmed? Is this what animal agriculture is all about? And the thing is, the more I watched, the more I found out, the more I'm like, you know what, I'm done with meat. So
how long was this you know, journey of
it took me 5 years.
Research.
It took me 5 years to get here, but I was pescatarian for 2 years, So
And
I only ate.
What is that for those that may not know?
I only ate fish
for 2
and
years.
seafood.
Wow.
For 2 years, I couldn't like really. I wasn't a big meat eater anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, it was a lot easier for me to just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna eat fish because there's still something there to chew. You know, like the stockfish and the fresh fish.
Did you ever get sick of that, just eating fish constantly?
No, because there are different types of fish, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then there's seafood. You can have, you know, all manners of things. You know, you can do whatever with it. And I was okay with that for 2 years, and then.
But I know it sounds really, you know, off key, but didn't eating fish for 2 years change your body hygiene? Because my mum always used to say to me, if you eat too much fish, and end up smelling like fishy. I don't know if that was
No. But you see, even at that, it wasn't like I was eating fish every single day, or because I was going without having all those things in my food. But yeah, so it was more or less me just trying to not completely give into what I actually believed, and still kind of like maintain the thing, because when you go out like socially, and if you don't eat meat, you eat fish. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it was more of that than me actually believing that I should be eating fish. So obviously we also do know that fish contains a lot of heavy metals and a lot of chemicals, and all those things are really harmful to the system. And I thought, you know what, why am I doing this? Why don't I just go all the way with what I believe? So 3 years ago, I just decided, you know what, I'm done with fish, I'm done with everything. I'm just going to go straight, become vegan.
Wow.
Yeah, so
amazing.
I know.
And since you became a vegan, has it changed any of your health? Like, did you have any health issues prior?
Yeah, I had irritable bowel syndrome.
Okay.
And since obviously becoming vegan, it's very. I'm trying to word it properly, but whatever I eat comes back out very quickly.
You have a good digestive system.
Yeah, so obviously my digestive system is working much better now, and obviously as a result of that, I was able to eliminate some health issues. Like my blood pressure was going out of control, and obviously my blood pressure dropped right down, and my blood sugar was also getting higher, even though I hadn't become diabetic. But my doctor was warning me that, look, if you carry on the way you're carrying on, you will end up becoming diabetic. So all those things changed, and even I noticed that my mental alertness improved. Yeah, and before that, I would go like half the day, I'll have to have a nap to enable me finish the day. That was how sluggish my system was. Fatigued and stuff. But now I'm like busting with energy. I'm like ready to go, like, yeah, where's the party at? Yeah, so I've really, I feel like the benefits of me becoming vegan is a lot more than of me not being vegan, if you see what I'm saying. So although a lot of people go vegan just for health reasons, to lose weight and or whatnot, it was not for me just about the weight loss or about health. It was more to do with the fact that I understood how the animals were farmed, and how like all the things that go into actually grooming the animals to get to where they were for us to be able to eat. And because of the demand is higher and higher, you know, when you were growing up, like eating meat in your house, probably just get a little piece of meat.
Yes.
You understand? Now you just like slam a whole, you understand what I'm saying?
And now there's more restaurants, you know.
Exactly. So the demand,
a lot more than probably 10 years ago.
You see, the demand is now making a lot of people to do crazy, unscrupulous things to make sure the meat is ready quicker, faster, you know.
I mean, there's different levels of veganism, because you know, you could just be a vegan eating, then, you know, like you said, it can go down to thinking about how animals, you know, cruelty towards animals. And it can go even deeper to the clothes you wear, the makeup you wear. I mean, people go so deep to the point where even it kind of interrelates with all this eco-friendly stuff, you know. So it's how far have you taken it?
Oh, I've gone all the way. I don't do anything by halves. To me, it's I'm there or I'm not. So I don't wear leather. If you see me wearing leather stuff, it's probably leather stuff that I've had for years.
Fake leather?
Or
PVC, plastic?
Yeah. There's vegan leather. So yeah, I would either wear that or I would wear like things that I've had from before. Obviously, I'm not going to throw them away, so I still have them, and that's how it's been for me.
And there's vegan makeup.
There's vegan makeup.
I have vegan foundation on today, actually.
Yeah.
From the Body Shop.
Yeah, but you see, some of these places like Body Shop, you have to also be careful because the person who founded Body Shop, when obviously they passed away and
it's
Body
been
Shop
taken
now,
over.
Exactly. So some things have been introduced. So some of their products you still have to be careful to make sure that.
So that's why now Lush is more. I think Lush is now more.
Yeah, I love Lush.
You know, I feel really sick when I go in there.
It's because of all the smell.
I can't take it. It's like
it
goes
so
to my head, and I'm like.
It's so intense.
Yeah.
Because they have all these herbs, spices. Like everyone is like competing. Oh yeah, yeah, come and see me. Yeah. So the smell is just overpowering. But yeah.
So how
I really love that.
So how have your family taken this change? Because obviously you have your children. You live with your children.
Yeah.
And you're vegan chef. So obviously it must affect.
Oh no, everyone's just accepted it and just take like I'm like if you want to eat, well, I would say that they are plant-based. Yeah, because obviously there's a difference between being plant-based and being vegan. So they are plant-based and they eat mainly vegan. But I'm like, look, if you guys want to eat delicious food, you have to eat food, vegan food. But if you just want to eat whatever, you do you. I'm not touching it.
But you don't prepare
No, I don't.
So you prepare vegan food only in your house. If they want McDonald's or KFC outside.
Do you know, even before I became vegan, I don't endorse McDonald's and all the rest of them now. I wouldn't touch them with a badgeful. So.
So you're a vegan chef.
Yeah.
Obviously, you became a vegan first.
Yes.
Way before you became a vegan chef. But at what point did you decide, you know, I want to take this further and become a chef? Because you must have enjoyed cooking at home.
Yeah.
I mean, there must have been a transition.
Right. I've always enjoyed cooking, and I've always cooked because growing up in my household, my mom cooked a lot, and we used to entertain a lot. So from a very young age, from 9 years old, I was already cooking. I was cooking, and I'm the first child, so you'd know. And my mom was an educationist, so she was studying a lot. Do you understand? So it would mean that when she was studying, I would be cooking. Do you understand? So I knew how to cook a lot of things from when I was young. And you know, people look at me and they can never believe that I can cook as much and as well as I cook, if I may say so myself. Yeah, so they never, like, people never knew that I could cook. So until, obviously, I decided, like, I wasn't really quite using my Instagram page that much, even though I had my Instagram. So I decided, no, I'm just going to be posting my food picture just to keep myself accountable.
Off as a hobby.
Yeah, no, it was more of an accountability thing.
Yeah,
that I would make sure that, obviously, I'll do 3 meals a day, and it will be vegan meals, and I'll post it. That was what I said to myself. But it wasn't even a thing where I wanted to showcase myself. So people were like, wow. So you can do this. You can do that.
Yeah, I was quite
you
shocked
can do that. And they're like, okay, can you make me this? Can you make me that? I'm like, wow. As a correct Igbo girl. You know now. I saw the business sense in me. I had to like, I was like, okay, what do I have to do to get all these things sorted out? I had to do all my trainings, my certification and everything, my insurance, everything, so that I can be ready for whenever anything comes. And that was how it started. It was like, I started posting before I became. So it was the fact that people were loving what I was doing that made me think, oh, I can actually do this properly as a business. And that was how Uziza was born.
So who were your clients mainly at first? Were they African? Were they Nigerian?
Yeah, they were Africans. Like, not. Do you know what? Yeah, it's a shock that I have more Ghanaians who gravitate towards my food than my actual Nigerians. It's so funny. And
so do you think there's more Ghanaian vegans than?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
I think Ghanaians are more open to the idea of veganism than Nigerians. You know, that's what I've noticed. I don't know if anyone knows.
Well, you've been back home a
yeah.
lot lately, and you know, you've been on radio and TV
Yeah.
and stuff talking about veganism.
Yeah.
How do they take this whole thing back home?
Do you know what? Yeah, when I first went, I thought they'll be like, "Oh, who is this person? Please, can you take her off our TV?" But it's so funny. Like people are genuinely interested. Like they want to know more, and veganism is really growing in Nigeria. In Lagos, there's 3 vegan restaurants. Already, yeah, and you know,
you visited them.
Yeah, I visited them, and there's an association of Nigerian vegans, and I've actually gone to one of their meetings and had a talk. So the idea is not as foreign as we would think in Nigeria, because people are more open to the fact, and I think they are more embracing veganism more from the health aspect of things, because people are now becoming more and more aware of what they eat and nutritional value and how food impacts your life,
I think
your
that's
mental
happening
health.
worldwide, isn't it?
Exactly. So, and January, Nigeria happened to be one of the top 10 countries for January. Have you heard about that? Where people sign up to actually take a pledge to be vegans all over the world, and Nigeria was one of the top 10 countries. Yeah. So you know,
wow, that's really
things are really picking up. Yeah.
So what skills did you acquire to, you know, in becoming a chef? Because there's, like you said, you were cooking at home. People said, but then obviously you do pop-ups.
Yeah.
And you've done a few events, you know, over the last 2 years. So you must have had to acquire more skills than just cooking, or was it just a gift?
Okay, like I grew up knowing that when you're cooking, you have your eyes eat first. Do you understand? Before you eat it. So you have to learn how to present your food in the proper way.
That's what I was trying to say in a nice way.
I knew in a nice way.
You know?
You can't just like slap the food on, which is what a lot of our Nigerian restaurants or African restaurants are doing. They're not really presenting our food in the way that it should be presented for the outside world to actually appreciate what our food
because a lot of food bloggers and people on social media do the presentation, but the actual restaurants don't, you know.
I know,
which is really bad.
It's really bad because you know why? Because they are making food for Africans, but we need to now start thinking more worldwide. We need to make, for example, like the Chinese people. Obviously, they've adapted Chinese food in such a way that the rest of the world will be able to like appreciate their food.
Definitely.
Like we know what that food is supposed to be. Yeah, we just gave you one mount of fufu and okra stew like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? But if you present, we know what it's supposed to be, so we know already what it would taste like. So we are prepared. But someone who doesn't understand that food, coming, seeing that mountain and seeing that, and they're like, whoa, how am I even going to start digging in? But if you're able to present it in a way where someone sees and goes like, wow, that is so pretty, I'm going to have, you know, a taste. So that's my main thing. And obviously, when I first started till now, I have developed, like I constantly train, I constantly watch what other people are doing. I keep up on trends. Like, for example, the way you used to mold rice 2 years ago, it's not the same way you're molding rice now. So it's like there's different trends. So you have to, you know, use like flowers, edible flowers, know how to roll your fufu, you know, how to put your plantain like a rose, you know, all the little things that would that would make the food look very appetizing to the eyes.
Okay. So also, sorry, I've lost my bearings. 1 second. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. So where do you get your produce from?
Okay. Usually, like,
and your spices, because I've tasted your food. Your food is amazing. Like,
oh, thank you.
You know, it tastes just as good as eating food with meat in it. You know, like it's got a very nice taste to it. And I know you talk about spices a lot. So, you know, I wanted you to share with us your spices and also how do you shop? Because being a vegan is expensive.
That's what people think. Because
I know you're a smart woman. You're a smart woman. I know you're smart, so I know you're very economic. That's why I'm asking you. So if someone's watching and thinking of transitioning into veganism, you might be able to give some tips on how to shop, because you know, I tried it with your help and I did it for 2 years, but I found it so expensive.
you see what it is here. If you're eating out all the time, obviously it's going to be expensive. But the way to approach veganism is not to think like, oh my gosh, now I don't have meat. How am I going to do it? Do you understand? Because most of our food has now gotten to the point whereby meat has become the center point. But if you take away the meat, the rest of the ingredient is still there.
It's true.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So it will be the same process, but eliminate the meat.
Okay.
That's what I tell people.
Okay, so you've been doing these pop-up events.
Yeah.
And you recently done one with Jamaican vegans?
Yes. Rogue vegan. Rogue vegan.
Rogue vegan. Yeah. So I mean, how did that work out? And what was the, you know, the whole? How did you lot come up with that concept? Because obviously, you have the African dishes. They had the Jamaican dishes. How did it work? And you know, how was it received? And how was the event?
Right.
In general.
We've been fans of each other for a while, yeah, and we finally met. She came to one of my pop-up, and we were talking, and we were like, oh, it's such a shame that Africans are over here, and you know the West Indians are over here. You know, we're one, and we have similar things within our
eat the same foods, basically.
You understand? So why don't we do a thing where we unite the two cultures through food? That was just as simple as. So we sat down and we drew up the menu, and we had to bring things that were complementary to each other.
Okay.
Like I had the soup, and she had the bami. So you know, like you're eating soup with bread, so you just have the soup and the bami. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then she made jackfruit jerk.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know, jackfruit, when you tease it out, it actually does look like pulled pork. Okay,
really?
There's quite a lot. Oh my God, it tastes so delicious.
Wow.
Yeah, so she had that. She made that, and I made jollof rice, and we put it together.
Yeah.
So it was that and that. So it was like a fusion, like you said. So and it came out really good in the end. So our dessert was puff puff, and soursop ice cream.
Oh yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So
yes.
Although the twist in the puff puff was we had Oreos inside the puff puff, so people were like,
Oreo in the puff puff.
Yes.
How did you do that?
Ooh,
Oreo and puff puff. I like the both of them. I can't imagine them together.
Yeah. Oh, trust me.
And then with
soursop
ice cream. Oh, that must have been nice.
It was awesome. It was amazing. People loved it, and they're like, we want more of this. So, you know, fingers crossed in the future we'll be doing more collaborations. Yeah.
So where did you do your first pop-up? And where?
My first, I've done so many, I can't even remember the date, but it was in Palmer's Green. The reason why I choose to do it in North London is because North London is really underrepresented when it comes to like vegan food.
Yes.
Like I have to go to East, or
it's
I have
true.
to go
East
to
London,
Hackney,
South,
Shoreditch,
South as well, yeah.
Exactly. So, and there's really nothing for us in North London. So I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry. My things are going to be in North London.
Businesswoman.
Yes. And people are happy about it. So yeah, the very first one I had in Palmer's Green, which was very close to where I live. So yeah.
And how did that go?
Oh, it went really well.
Okay.
It went so well. Like, obviously it was my first one. It's not like I don't believe in myself or I didn't believe that people were going to come out for me. But we got to a point whereby we had to actually stop people from coming in.
Wow.
Yeah, because we exceeded capacity. Yeah.
Okay.
The venue was like, look, we can't, health and safety, because people were lapping each other. There was no seat, and people really wanted to come.
Wow.
And trust me, I always double, like whenever I'm doing my thing, I always double portions.
Yeah.
So just in case.
Oh, double portions.
Yeah. No, I knew how many people I had.
But you'll do more.
I did more. So
African mentality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So obviously I had enough, you know, to accommodate everyone. But it was really an eye opener, and I felt so touched that people would actually come out and pay money to come and eat my food.
Yeah.
Something that I would have gladly done for free. No, I didn't say that. No, but
people start asking
do you understand what I'm
there?
saying? It was something that it made me happy, and you know, to see that people actually enjoyed the food made me. That's the best gift anyone can give any chef is for the place to come back empty, and you know, I was really
amazing.
pleased,
Yeah, so if you've just joined us, we have Nena Ubani, aka the Duchess. That's what I call her.
Yes, sir.
She is a UK-based vegan chef of Nigerian heritage. She's also a wellness coach, and she is an award-winning mentor. And most importantly, she is the founder of the Igbo Women's Awards, which we're going to talk about, and also the founder of
Igbokwenu Radio.
Yeah, I can't pronounce that. She's also the founder of a radio station. So she's a woman of many talents and gifts. She's bubbly, vibrant, an amazing soul. And, you know, she's been a really good friend to me over the years. So, Nena, let's talk about you being a wellness coach.
Okay.
Because that's something I know that you're very passionate about as well. And it comes from personal stuff as well. And, you know, it's something you've been doing for a long time, a few years, because that's how I kind of met you when you was doing all the mentoring and, you know, you was a wellness coach. So how did that start and why?
Obviously, you know about my mental health experience, and you know that I've, over the years, battled anxiety and depression. A lot of people, especially in the African community, don't want to talk about it. Nobody wants to admit it because it's like a taboo, and people feel if they say, oh, I'm suffering from depression, oh my God, everyone looks at you like, are you mad?
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Strong African woman like
exactly,
you.
Exactly. But you see, the funny thing is, it's the strong ones that are hit the most, because you're there for everybody else, and you're not there for yourself, and no one is there for you. So you struggle. You also have your struggles, and I think strength is really knowing your limit as a person, and knowing how to, when you get to that limit, knowing how to reel yourself back in, which is something I've had to learn after I had crashed. I know I shouldn't be laughing, but I like to always put humor to everything.
Yeah,
because I believe it's my saving grace. The fact that I'm able to laugh at myself, I'm able to laugh at situations, no matter how hard they are, has been my saving grace. So from that experience, I had gone to my GP and said to my GP, look at how I'm feeling, because obviously because nobody's talking about depression in our community. I had no idea.
And remember, this is not recently, because I think now a lot of people
there's a lot
about
more
social media, and a lot of younger people have tapped into, you know, seeking help when they have issues and stuff. But I think years ago nobody
talked about it. I had no idea. I don't even know why I chose to go speak to my GP. I don't even know why that came into my mind to do so. So I went to my GP and I said to my GP, this is how I'm feeling. Am I going crazy? Am I going mad? I've never experienced anything like this before. And my GP was like, look, it's depression from what you're saying. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to give you medication. I'm going to let you go for therapy, and let's see how you feel. And that was the best thing my GP did for me, because I'm also an advocate of not just putting people straight on the pills when they say that they're presenting, because some things can be dealt with from just the talking therapy, counseling, cognitive behavioral therapy. So many other options can be.
Because there's different reasons why people get depressed.
Exactly.
And, you know, people always think, oh, it's a relationship breakdown or it's this, but yours was actually... It wasn't even that, was it?
No, it was not that.
It wasn't all those things.
I think it was a thing whereby I was away from my family, and I was someone who, for many years, I used to bottle things. I would never say. And it got to a point whereby even my mom, although, you know, she's late now, said to me, you need to find people who you can trust and be able to talk to. Because I think she realized that I was kind of like isolating myself from people. And it's a thing where when you're growing up, you're told to like keep everything within your family. Don't bring out things, don't shame your family and stuff like that. And you carry it on with you. Do you understand? So I had
it's an old African mentality.
You understand? So I had all that bottled up inside me, and I didn't feel like safe, like telling people, because I felt like some of the things I was going through at the time, that if I told people, you know, like, would they laugh at me and stuff like that. So I went to my GP and I'm like, okay, this is how I'm feeling and stuff. So obviously led me to counseling. I had the counselor, and I did also have group therapy. And whilst I was at the group therapy, people were like talking about their experience, different experiences, and I was there like, I'm not even having it this bad, and I'm here stressing myself out. You understand what I'm saying? Not that I'm laughing at people's pain. You understand what I'm saying? But sometimes
that's
we
why
feel
they do. That's why they
own,
do. Yeah, that's why they do the group therapy, because sometimes you think you're in the worst position until you hear someone else's story.
Exactly. So it helps. Also, when you're talking to people, they would also give you their own story, and you're like, wow, so I'm not alone, which is one thing that can lead you to healing.
Yes.
So I went through counseling and stuff. I didn't even complete the whole course because whilst I was speaking, because I'm someone who, the way my brain works, my brain is, I've noticed my brain is different from a lot of people, because I feel like I got what he was trying to tell me. It's about taking yourself away from the situation and looking at things logically, which is something I'm able to do, and a lot of people around me find it difficult. I'm able to be like rational even when the worst things are happening. So it was something that I was like, wow, okay, so I need to just work out what my triggers are, know when to avoid certain things, know when to do certain things, not to overwhelm myself. Like, okay, right, I got it. Bye. That's it. Logic. Yeah, I'm like, okay, bye, thank you. I get it now. So I took that away, you know, with that. I went away with that, and I started researching. I started reading, because I read quite a lot. I started researching about mental health, about anxiety, about depression, about a whole lot of things. And as I was researching, I was like, you know what? It would be nice for me to go and do a training in this area. So I
can help others.
and help others. So I've done that as well. So I'm actually a qualified cognitive behavioral therapist.
Wow.
Yeah, which a lot of people.
You know what? You don't talk about a lot of things, you know, because I'm not even going to say what you do professionally.
I know. I actually work in that field, part time though, but because I can't afford, like with what I'm doing, I can't give more than the part time hours that I'm committing now to the work I'm doing. So that I found helped me also. The fact that I'm helping other people, I'm in turn helping myself, and it was kind of like, would I say it was a revelation, because there was a lot of things I actually didn't know that I had in me, and through all my challenges that I've encountered, I've come out knowing that, wow, so I can actually do this, that I didn't know that I could do. So in as much as we're not happy that things happen to us, but it's a way of us being trained for what is coming in future. Do you understand? Yeah. I believe so much in a higher being, in spirituality. So I would rather not have gone through it, but I'm happy I've been through it, and I'm able to stand and tell the story, and also be able to help other people.
Wow. So you're also a well-being, you're also an award-winning mentor.
Yeah.
Which you never told me. So you won an award whilst you were a mentor. Yeah. How did you get into mentoring?
Okay.
I think with us today we started like at the top and we're going
going back.
We're going way back.
So all the things I've done. Oh my God, I've done so much. Yeah. That's the problem with being multi-skilled and multi-talented, and which is the reason why I've come to the point where I'm like, you know what? I know I can do all those things, but I need to be a master in something. Because
sometimes they say it's not good to be a jack of all trades.
I know, it's terrible. And it's one of the reasons why I get stressed out.
That's like me. You want to do everything.
Don't tell me anything new. I don't want to learn anything new, because once I learn it, I'm going to be good at it. And I'm going to be stressed out that I'm not able to pursue it to the end. You understand? So, So when it comes to the mentoring side of things, I've been mentoring young people since 2004.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, I've been mentoring young people since 2004, and I've run programs with the Met Police and the local authority of where I live, and I've done like one-on-one mentoring, I've done group mentoring, I've done mentoring events. So I also do have people who I actually mentor Obviously, I don't talk about that because it's their private life.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So,
but you don't even advertise these services. So,
well, people just know. I don't know. Like, people just hear, okay, she can do this, and go speak to her, and that's how it just happens, you know, and stuff like that.
That's what happens when you're jack of all trades.
Exactly. I know. I've run mental health workshops in my local authority. Obviously, I can't post pictures of that because it's very sensitive. People's lives and stuff like that. It's not really, So it just, I don't know. I just get this fulfillment in helping people. But you see, the balance in that is knowing not to give too much of yourself. Do within what you can carry as a person, because I'm I'm an empath, and other people's problems worry me. And I have people who say, "Oh, you're cold. You're so unfeeling. You don't have a hat." But that's the thing. Like, some people look at me and they don't know I feel things like really deep. Like when people are going through a lot, I'm quite willing to give like my last money to help people. And I've had times when I've helped people or I've put myself out and people would look at me like,
"Are you okay?"
No, not just are you okay. They'll be like, they think you have an ulterior motive behind what you're doing. Because how can someone just be that nice?
So nice,
for no reason and not expecting anything back? Do you understand what I'm saying? But that's me. It makes me happy to be able to be there for people. So sometimes some people I'm like, just let me do it. Not because I feel like you can't do it for yourself, but it makes me feel happy that I'm able to do this for you. So
amazing.
Yeah.
If you've joined us, we're talking to Nana Ubani. She is, I even forgot to mention, she's a columnist as well for the... You're too much. Let me not even bring that one in. She's the founder of the Igbo Women Awards. She's a vegan chef. You do too much.
I know.
She's a well-being coach, and she's also an award-winning mentor, which we're discussing right now.
Yeah.
So you won this award.
Yeah.
Tell us about the
Which
award
one?
that you won. She's won a lot of awards. She's not a show-off. She's so humble as well. You know, she doesn't even post these things on social media
because it's not necessary.
But I've done my research.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. It's not necessary. I can't remember. There was somewhere I went, and they're like, "Oh, I know you." I'm like, "Huh?" So don't worry, I've done my due diligence on you. I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
And this person, I don't even know who they are. They're like, "Oh yeah, no, I know everything about you." I'm like, "Okay, cool, thank you." But certain things I don't feel that it's important to just post on social media because like I look at social media as just a way to connect with people, you know, just certain things that I do need people to know. For example, with like if I'm doing a pop-up, you need to let people know so they can come, my food, I share it. But some of the other things I don't really need to put on social media, so they don't.
You've been in the game for long anyway.
Yeah, because I'm not advertising it.
She's a Facebook chick from old school Facebook.
From when we were in uni. Oh my God, when Facebook was just
you even had
thing.
The first time I ever saw this woman, she had a TV show.
Oh Lord.
She had a TV show, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. It was so cute. It was so girly.
Thank you.
It was called Time with Duchess or
Tea with the Duchess.
Yeah. That's it. And you had, you know, you was in the restaurant, you had your cup of tea, and you had your cake. And I was like, I want to do something like that. Like, I looked up to you.
Oh,
and now you're here on my show.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Thank you. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, I'm so proud of you. Like, when I saw your show, I was like, yeah, you told me you were going to do it, and you're not doing it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm really proud of you.
And this was years ago. This was like, I think about like 7 years ago. Yeah, it was a long time.
When nobody wanted to do anything online, I was like one of the pioneers.
Yeah, you was. She was the pioneer of online TV. You know, you started it. You paved the way for us, which is amazing. So back to talking about depression.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to ask you is how you cope with it, because obviously it doesn't just disappear.
Yeah, it doesn't,
sometimes it comes back, even though you're this amazing woman who has many gifts. You're a mother. You know, you're a columnist. You're what are you? You're everything. You know, founder of an organization, founder of a radio station. You know, you're doing all these things, but you know, you have this depression on the side, and it doesn't just go away. So how do you cope? I mean, what I know the coping mechanisms because you share a lot on Facebook. I mean, on Instagram, your weekly stuff. But you know, what are some of your coping mechanisms?
Okay.
Because you're you're a public figure, and you know you've done TV, you've done radio. In the Nigerian community, you're quite well known. You go to events, and you know you're out there. So how do you cope when it hits you, but you still have to be on the go? You still have to do this. You still have to show up.
Yeah. I find that one of the reasons why I was struggling initially was because I didn't understand myself, and I didn't know my limits. Okay, now I understand my limits. I know how much I can handle. And when I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed, I drop everything and rest.
Okay.
Before, I used to have this problem of not knowing how to say no to people or telling them, look, I can't do this. And because I felt like, I had to just do it. So, and the first time I said no to someone, I said, I'm sorry, I can't do this.
You feel bad, don't you?
I was so stressed. It took me a long time to walk up the courage to tell them. And then when I told them, they're like, okay, no problem. I was like, whoa, so is that easy to say no?
The more you say no, it becomes easier, doesn't it?
Exactly. So it's all about knowing what you can do and what you cannot do. Okay, for example, like when you have like an event, the show must go on. Do you understand what I'm saying? But it's knowing how to prioritize. The things that you know you can afford to leave for later, leave them for later, and do the things that are most pressing. And if you can afford to just leave everything and rest, just do it. So that's how, I've been able to handle. And also trying to care for yourself, relaxation. I go for regular massages, spa, take yourself out to the park because you can draw like positive energy from like greenery.
I didn't believe in all that stuff when I was younger, but now I do.
Oh gosh, it's very powerful. So you do all that. You talk to people who I have a lot of people who call me when they're stressed. And
I do have people. I used to do
that. I also have people who I call when I'm stressed, who I know is going to just make me laugh like crazy. So, because laughter is very, and I regularly go to comedy shows because I really enjoy, that's one of my...
That's very therapeutic,
Yeah, I just enjoy the laughter there and just find things that give you life. That's what I would say,
Okay. You also talk a lot about body positivity and self-acceptance. Is this something that you've battled with in the past, or you still battle with, and how do you overcome it? Because you say some things to me, and you really, how can I say, like when I say to you, Nena, I feel like this, you just, whatever you say to me, it just calms me, and then I just forget, and then I just think, what she said is true. It's in your nature to be a counsellor, all this stuff you're doing. So, but how do you, the advice you give to others, how do you give that same advice to yourself?
Those
in terms
are things,
of the body positive, accepting yourself.
Like, I give people advice based on what I've been through and what I tell myself on a regular basis. Obviously, growing up, I was really slim. I was very skinny, and to the extent whereby, to the extent whereby I even had a nickname at one point. They used to call me Skeleton. Yeah, let those people come and see me now. Because I was so skinny, I was so slim for a long time, and it wasn't until I started having kids that I started obviously putting on weight and stuff like that. So first of all, when I put on weight, it was the number one problem I had was buying clothes, because in my mind I was still that slim person.
Size 10, size 12.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
What size 10, size 12? I was size 8, size 6, size 8, mate.
Wow.
Trust me, I was really slim.
Wow.
So going to shop and trying to buy clothes for me that I was like a year or 2 years before, it was crazy. So it took me a lot to accept myself, and then going from that person who I never used to bother about, okay, are my arms big, is my stomach big, is the light hitting me the right way, or is this my good side, is this my good side, that kind of a thing. To now, like, so conscious about, oh my God, look at my arms are going bigger and stuff. And when I was little, we used to make fun of people who had big arms. And I'm like, I'm now the one having the big arms. Maybe that's karma. No, I'm just yeah. So I'm going from that and then seeing yourself like, oh gosh, because I never actually thought in my mind that I would ever be big, because there was nothing to tell me I was going to be big. Do you understand? So it was just making that transition and loving yourself regardless. Because what I used to do as well was, I'd be like, oh, I'm not going to buy this. I'm going to wait till I lose weight, till I do this. I'm going to wait till I lose weight, till I do that. And life is not waiting till you lose weight. Life is going by as you're waiting to lose weight. You still haven't lost weight. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it got to a point where I said to myself, why am I pausing my life to lose weight? I even got to a point whereby I went on this diet and I almost died. I'm not going to mention the diet. I don't want no one coming after me. But I did that and I ended up in hospital. Do you understand? And the doctor was like, look, you can't really be doing things like this. I'd lost a significant amount of weight, but the health, what's it called, detriment to my health was so much. Do you understand? I'm like, when I was starting, I said, oh, I'm going to lose weight, even if it killed me. I didn't actually know that I was prophesying. Until it got to the point it almost killed me. I was like, yeah, I'm done. So it got to a point where I had to say to myself, look, I'm always going to be working towards, due to different things that are happening to me, hormonal imbalances and stuff, it makes it difficult for me to lose weight. I cannot live my life just based on the fact that I'm not losing weight. I have to accept myself for who I am. I have to love me for who I am. Just be me. And I started finding little things in myself that I loved and started focusing on those things. And before I knew it, I started loving all of me. So it was a thing where I had to make a conscious effort to embrace who I am. And then also knowing that you are more than just your body. There's a lot more in you. And the more you achieve, the less you care really about the outward appearance. I would look good, do you understand, regardless of what size I am. I know that as a fact.
What I was going to ask you is, you used to work in media, and like I said, you started way back. It's not now that you're on TV. You've been doing it for years. Do you feel like that contributed to the consciousness?
Oh no, it started way before then.
It started way before then.
It started way before then, because then I would meet people. You know how people are terrible. They'll tell you, hey, you put on weight, and they'll even poke your stomach. So what is all this? What is all this? So even when you don't want to think about it, you have people constantly reminding you of it. And then obviously when you're not happy with yourself, people can tell, and they will always be giving you advice on how to lose weight. This person will bring this for you, this person will bring that for you. Oh, try this, try that. I got to a point where I said, you know what, forget it all, please. I just want to be healthy. Like, I eat really healthily, and I try as much as possible to be active. I walk a lot. I try to stay, but I know that it's obviously going to be a gradual process, and it's a journey that I continue to work towards a healthier me, not just on a weight loss thing. So I'm more on a healthy lifestyle journey as opposed to just losing weight. So I've learned to accept myself for who I am. I know I'm more than just my body, and people who love me regardless of my size. So I really don't care about all those things now anymore.
So with black women in media, do you feel like now, people's perception of what a TV presenter or a host should look like, do you feel like now in 2019 that people's perception of the way a black presenter should look has changed as to 10, 15 years ago?
A lot. There used to be a lot of focus more on looks. Like, obviously, I was in artist management and stuff as well. So it was a thing where even I was telling artists that I was working with, you need to lose weight. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they had to fit a certain mold for them to be able to sell. You understand? So it was still the same thing as to, obviously, people across the media, both in music everywhere,
being an actress
everywhere. But obviously, we've now come to a point whereby people now understand that beauty comes in all shades, in all sizes, in all shapes. So it's a bit more acceptable now to just be you and be however you want to be.
Okay, so when did you decide to start being open about, the personal things you were going through? because obviously you're doing all these things. You were going to see your doctor, you know, going through therapy. But when did you decide to start like speaking about it? Because obviously you were helping others, but you weren't necessarily disclosing that you were going through these things. So at what point did you decide, you know what, I'm going to start talking about
what I found
all these
was,
things?
because it was like a secret, it was like it had power over me, but the more I talk about it, the more I have power over it.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So it wasn't like a thing that I was hiding. Oh, let people don't find out. If they find out, oh my gosh, they're going to say. But now I actually talk about it. I feel like I've taken the power away from it.
Yes.
So I've taken back my power. And the more I speak about it, the more I actually get healing. So that was what encouraged me. And I also noticed that speaking to someone about something and you cannot relate, or the person feels that you don't relate to it, you can never be able to help that person. So I found it easier to tell people my story, tell people my journey, tell people what I've been through and how I got up, to encourage them to be able to go through the same healing process.
The same healing process.
Yeah.
Okay. That's nice. So if you've just joined us, we're talking to Nena Ubani, who is the founder of the Igbo Women's Awards. She's a wellness coach. She's an award-winning mentor. She's a columnist. She's a vegan chef, which is something she's very passionate about and that she's doing, you know, at this present moment. But like I said, she's the founder of the Igbo Women Awards. And if you've just joined us, please subscribe on our YouTube page. We're also live on YouTube every week. So subscribe to our YouTube page, Omega Live TV, so you can get updates. We're also live here on Facebook. So yeah, as I was saying, she is the founder of the Igbo Women Awards, which to me is amazing. I just think it's such a powerful concept. When I heard about it, I was like, what's this? You know, tell me all about it. But yes, you're here, so I'd like you to enlighten us, you know, how you came up with the concept, the vision, because you could have come up with the Nigerian Women's Awards or the African Women Awards, but why Igbo Women Awards?
People, even when I tried to get like a team together to work, everyone was like, why Igbo Women Award? Why not Nigeria? Open it up to everyone. But in as much as I would like to do that, but I feel like Igbo women over the years have suffered a lot of marginalization, and it's about time that we are empowered as a people, because we have so much in us. When you come to politics, to literature, to everything, we're there and we're leading and we're paving the way, and nobody is actually talking about this, which was the reason why I felt like they needed to be showcased to encourage the next generation of Igbo women. If these women can do it, we can do it as well, which was the reason why I thought, yeah, I'll do Igbo Women Awards.
And this is not just in Nigeria, this is international.
It's international.
Internationally.
Yeah, it's international.
So
we had people flying from all over to attend to it, from America, from Nigeria, from Europe. People get nominated all over and they come.
So when did this start? And, you know, you told me about your struggles. I'd like you to share them, because I find it so interesting about the support side. Yeah. You know, and I think it's something that, you know, would be good to touch on. So
yeah, because, you know, when you start something like that, and obviously it being Igbo, and you know, when I started the awards, there was so much going on in the media when it came to Igbo people, and so many things were happening, which I'm not going to mention for political reasons. And because of that, I felt like a lot of people didn't really know where I was heading with the whole Igbo Women Awards. So they weren't quick to be associated with it because they don't understand what my mission was all about. They didn't know, is this going to be another craziness going on and stuff? So I found that it was a thing where I had to struggle on my own to prove myself and to actually show people this is what I want to accomplish. And it wasn't until I was able to plan and execute it that people actually really understood, oh, this is where she's headed. And now people are more kind of like happy to be on board. But whereas before, people were just watching from the sideline because they didn't understand. Like, oh, why is she just doing Igbo Women Awards? Like, what is this all about?
So when did you start?
Sorry?
When did you actually start? When was your...
The first one was 2 years ago.
Okay.
So it's going to be a 2-yearly thing.
Every 2 years?
Every 2 years. So we have one next year.
Okay, and how's planning going with
The
that?
planning is going on the way. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be completely different from what we did the last time.
So what did you do the last time? And what did you learn, like, positively and negatively from the last awards?
Yeah.
To better this time around?
What shocked me was people who were coming forward to support me were people who I didn't know. Were people who just heard what I was doing.
And they weren't even Igbo?
There were some people that were helping me were not even Igbo. They just loved the concept and the passion I had for what I was doing. And then some people that were Igbo also that were helping me were people who just saw it online and they were like, wow, this is amazing.
This is amazing.
We'd like to be on board. So it was a thing where the people who I was hoping to help me were not really there, and the people who came forward were people who I wasn't expecting. And obviously, being the first one, it was like, you know, a learning curve for me, a lot in the sense where I relied a lot on what people were saying to me that they were going to do. Okay. And you know, us as Africans, people say a lot of things. But when it comes to and that was like one of the hardest lessons I had to learn. So obviously going away from that, it would be about having contingency plans, making sure there's plan B, plan C, not to 100% put all my eggs in one basket. So,
and in terms of funding and sponsorship?
Oh, I funded it myself.
Yourself?
Yeah.
An award ceremony?
It was self-funded.
The whole thing?
Everything.
And is that something... I hope you're not going to do the next time.
Obviously, I'm hoping not to do it by myself next time. But I have put in structure in place whereby funds for it will be available regardless.
So you're not depending on anyone.
No. Yeah.
So when you go back to Nigeria, because you do go back to Nigeria quite often, do you just go for to visit family, or do you go back and talk about the things that you're doing in the UK as a Nigerian in the UK? Do you talk about, you know, the Igbo Women Awards? Do you talk about your veganism? Yeah. Do you let people know this is the stuff you're doing in the UK?
When I go, usually when I travel, I'm like, I'm just going to go and see my family and, you know, just have fun. I'll rest and I'll not do anything.
And do you get support from the Nigerians in Nigeria?
Oh yeah, a lot. Because I feel like most people in Africa are more passionate about our things than us that we're over here. We're not as passionate when it comes to our thing like people back home, I'm sorry to say. And usually when I go back, I go and I'm like, I'm going to rest, whatever. But once one person hears that I'm in town, they want to do something with me. Before I know it, it ends up being a walking holiday. Even when I want to go incognito, which I like to do, I like to just go in and nobody knows I'm there. But one person, one of the interviews I did, oh God, one of my friends from secondary school that I hadn't seen since secondary school, she heard the interview and she was like, oh my God, that's my sister. And she started messaging me. I finally found where I was. I know we hung out and it was fun. A lot of, I met up with other secondary school mates and it was so amazing. So I usually go planning to do one thing and when I get there, I do something else. So I've accepted that.
By the way, you make the best shito. She makes this vegan shito that tastes better than normal shito.
Yay! Do you know what? Once, because I think that's Thursday. I knew that I was onto something.
that shito is amazing that you make. It's
Thank you very much.
It's really nice. So, I mean, what can we expect from your? Please tell us the pronunciation, because you do have a name for your vegan brand.
Uziza.
Uziza.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's next for Uziza? Because I know that's what you're very passionate about now. And, you know, obviously the Igbo Women Awards is coming up. Yeah. So, you know, what's next in terms of Uziza?
Right. As you know, I have an online store.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
That's why you're here now, to tell us.
Okay. I have an online store. And my dream for that online store is to be like an African vegan version of HelloFresh.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So I have ready, obviously, to cook meals. Everything all measured up with the recipe and stuff that you can already buy online.
Okay.
And I'm creating more products to go on there. So that's what I've been working on at the moment.
Okay.
And also, I've written a cookbook.
No.
Okay, I've got a cookbook on
Really?
Amazon, yeah, and I'm
So where
writing
is
another
it?
one.
So where is the cookbook?
It's on Amazon.
Ah, but I haven't seen
If
it.
you type in my name, Amazon, my name, vegan African, it will come up.
I haven't seen this on your social media.
Yeah, I've been sharing it.
Okay.
Do you know what? One thing I don't know. Do you know what I try my best to do is to promote myself a lot more, and I find that I'm so bad at promoting myself, but I'm so good at promoting other people. I'll be shouting people out of the roof.
Yeah.
When it comes to it's not like I'm shy to do it. It doesn't even occur to me to do. Do you understand?
Yes.
So yeah, so I'm gonna try, to do.
Because you're an author, wow.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, and I've got another book coming out, and
Okay.
this book, the new book that's coming out, is gonna be in series.
Okay. So what was the first book about?
It's about my vegan remix. Like I've remixed certain dishes.
Okay.
Nigerian dishes.
Okay.
Made them vegan.
African fusion type of thing.
Yeah. So and then the one that's coming out is gonna come out in series.
Okay.
So it's gonna be like a 5-part book.
Okay.
So different obviously things without giving away too much. But it's gonna be exciting. I've worked so hard on this.
Make sure you shout about it.
I would. I've worked so
sure.
hard. I've been working on it for a long time, and it's almost ready. I would say it's 90% ready now. Yeah. So the 10% is just to put everything to make it look pretty.
So your brand is called Uziza.
Uziza. Yeah. Uziiza.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
you should have asked me what it is.
So we've spoken about literally everything that you do. We've spoken about your gifts, your talents, you being a well-being coach.
Yeah.
You being an award-winning mentor, which you don't like me praising you about, but you're award-winning.
Yeah.
We've spoken about the Igbo Women Awards, you being, a renowned vegan chef now. Yeah. We've spoken about all these things, but I mean, who inspires you? I always ask my guests this before we're about to close. Like, who inspires you in life? Where do you get your inspiration from? In everything that you do.
Right. First and foremost, the first person or the first woman who showed me that I can achieve anything regardless was my mom. Because she was a go-getter. Unfortunately, she passed away quite early. I wasn't ready for her to go at the time she went. She was only 56. Yeah, so it was really sad. But she showed me that nothing can stop you from achieving, because she was having us and she was still in school. She was doing her master's, she was doing her PhD, she was researching, she was doing all kinds of things whilst she was still giving birth. So I feel like I can't use anything as an excuse. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And she had 5 children.
Wow.
So I have no excuse. So I had that example growing up. But in all areas of my life, I have different mentors. So I can't really say, oh, this is one person who I look up to. I have different people who I look up to when it comes to like the vegan world. I have different people who I look up to when it comes to like coaching, wellness, different people. So even my kids, they inspire me. Like my son, he has a YouTube channel.
Oh wow!
And he hits almost 300,000 views on one of his videos.
Wow!
I'm
Well, I need to be watching
I'm impressed.
Really?
I'm impressed. And he's mentoring me. He's telling me, Mom, you need to bring out merchandise. You need to do this. You need to do this. Where is your merch? Where is this? Where is that? You're not even doing stuff properly.
Yeah.
So I don't really have. It doesn't have to be someone of an authority for you to inspire me. So I find inspiration in all different things.
Things. And where can people find you on social media for, your vegan store, your personal?
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Search Duchess Nena on all platforms.
And Uziza as well. Do you have a page?
I have
Uziza.
Yeah. I have an Instagram, Uziza, where obviously I put up any news, anything coming up would be on there.
And have you done any writing recently as your columnist?
I write regularly, but I would have to send those to you. I'll send you the links and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Writing is just something that
you do with passion.
Yeah, like it's just something that I just do because sometimes I just want to, but it's not. It just gives me joy to write sometimes, write down my thoughts, what I'm feeling, and obviously there's a book that I contributed in that's going to be coming out soon, so I'll let you know when they decide. So I have little bits of things here and there, yeah.
Okay.
So.
Well, it's been nice having you on the show, and
Thank
you're
you.
Definitely a gold digger. I think you're
you.
my ultimate #1 gold digger. You're in the lead.
Thank you very much.
Because your CV is just...
it's too much.
Don't mess with Igbo women, you know. They're powerful.
Should I bring the certificates?
I don't know who's more powerful, an Ashanti woman or Igbo woman. That one we have to...
Do you know what? Yeah, you might.
She said Ashanti.
I was going to be diplomatic and say you might be surprised that we might be related. I didn't know that someone was somewhere trying to take ownership. But now that they've decided to go down that road, yeah, Igbo women #1.
I'm not going to get involved. I'm British.
I always play that card.
I'm British, please. Oh my gosh. Well, we've had the wonderful, bubbly, lovely Nena Ubani in the studio, and she's been a breath of fresh air. She's told us all about her, you know, professional accolades and her projects, and you know, she's just amazing.
Thank you.
So I'm so grateful, and thank you for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you guys for watching. Gold Diggers is on Omega Live TV as you're watching, and Omega Live is powered by Omega House Multimedia Company, which is situated on West Green Road, next door to Uncle John's Bakery. You don't even need to know the number, just ask for Uncle John's Bakery and you'll find Omega House Multimedia Company, 7 Sisters, Tottenham, West Green Road. Thank you guys for watching. Until next week, we'll be back here at 8 p.m, hopefully. See you.